Officers and members of the NDG alumni, students of Notre Dame of Glan, Batch 86, headed by Barangay Captain Nazario Suata, who is celebrating its 25th anniversary today, PTA President Gabriel Quico, guests and friends of NDG, good morning. Good morning, everyone. All alumni of NDG, a pleasant good morning to everyone. When Jake Dikinya called me up last week to inform me that I would be a guest speaker in today's affair, I felt a different kind of high. Because it has been years that I have longed to come home to Notre Dame of Glan and be a part of its alumni affair. My coming here is a realization of that dream, to be recognized by my alma mater as one of its successful products. When I first reported as BIA Regional Director of Region 12 in Marbel, I felt very happy that I was given the chance to serve my kababayans, since Glan is a part of my region. I thank the Almighty God that at long last, He granted my wish for a great homecoming to NDG. It seems only yesterday when I was lining up with my schoolmates before the flagpole for the flag ceremony. It was also in these playgrounds that we would form a big circle in the afternoons and play the hulog-hulog panyo sa likod. Then the one who got it would also run around and drop it in another's back. It was also here where we studied hard our lessons, listened to the lectures, and sometimes got scolded for coming late or for giving wrong oral answers. I also remember the time when I was the commandant of the group performing fancy drill during the school affair. We also had singing and dancing competitions. Si Miss Luching Ruiz, sige ang among tagatudlo og sayaw. But what I remember most was the coconut drive we made when I was in the second year high school. We wanted to improve our basketball court, but the school had no money. So what we did, we the students from the first to fourth year high school went on foot to different farms. Naglakaw gid mi sa mga lain-lain nga mga baryos and asked for pieces of coconuts na ngayo mig mga lubi. Later on, all the coconuts we got were made into copra. We sold the copra and then used the cash to build a basketball court na malitmi og mga semento gikan sa halin sa mga kopras. I belong to a humble family in Glan. Dili mi dato, but dili pod mi pobre. Kay makakaon man og tarong o wala man sad mi utang. My late father Rufo, upong to most of people from Glan, was a retired health inspector who devoted his time to our karinderya. Across the school, my nanay Mining had a small canteen selling landang and other snacks. Over the objection of my tatay, she operated it kay gusto daw niya ma-monitor ang akong pagkaon sa school ug malingaw daw siya sa mga bata. Many students patronized the canteen. After my graduation from high school, she closed it. Both my parents believe in the dignity of labor. When I enrolled in college in a big school in big city of Davao, I was really enveloped with fear that I, coming from a small town, would not be able to cope with the standards of the university, the Ateneo de Davao. Although I was a scholar because I graduated salutatorian from this school, the fear was still there. True enough, at the Ateneo de Davao, I was put in Section A where everyone was a scholar coming from different schools in Davao City and other regions. And boy, I really had a hard time because our lessons in the province were much more simpler than theirs. I became very thin, almost skin and bones. At first, my grades were rock bottom. But later on, as I learned to adjust to the school's standard, thank God I was able to graduate from pre-law in Ateneo de Davao with good grades. A day before my graduation, my parents traveled to Davao City to attend it and met a relative who asked my parents from what course I would be graduating. When he was told Bachelor of Arts or AB, he blurted out unkindly and said, AB? Unsa man ang kursuhan na, baliwala na nga kurso. I really pitied my tatay and nanay who took pride in sending me to Ateneo de Davao. Murag mi gamay in town, si tatay ug si nanay nga nagbiyahe pagikan sa Glan. At that point, I vowed to myself that the AB that the guy had considered nothing would be a big something. I must become a lawyer, my mind said. For the information of everyone, I had that dream to become a lawyer, even when I was still in grade 3. After graduation from AB, my father told me point blank that he and my mother were already too old and too tired to support me to law school, which was another 4 years. I felt very sad, but it became a real challenge to my dream to become a lawyer, a dream I was having since I was in grade school. When I was a little girl, when there was a question, what is your ambition, in the autograph book of my classmates, my answer was always to become a lady lawyer. So since my parents couldn't support me anymore through law school and the boarding house too, I decided to look for a job immediately after my graduation from AB. Luckily, and thanks to God, I found one in the City Court of Davao as court interpreter. But the salary was not high, so I had to budget tightly my salary and did not buy the luxurious things normal dalagas would like to buy. But it was okay with me. So while working with the government, I enrolled in the Ateneo de Davao College of Law. I worked in the mornings and studied in law school in the evenings. I was full-time at work and was also full load in school. It was really difficult, but if there's a will, there's a way. But one problem came out. One of my professors in law wanted to start classes at 4:30 p.m. instead of the prescribed time of 5 p.m. When I told him that my office hours would end at 5 p.m., he did not budge. He just said, you better choose between your job or your schooling, which I couldn't because my job supported my studies. So what I did was to talk to my boss, Judge Enrique and Ting, and requested permission to report to office 30 minutes earlier and be off at 4:30 p.m., to which he agreed. As a court interpreter during court hearings, my duty was to translate the English questions of the lawyers asking the witnesses into the dialect and then translate his native answer to English for the records. So there was really no time to read my law books in the office. My regular study time was therefore 10:30 to 12 midnight every night. During exam time, I would absent myself from office. Thank God I was able to graduate from law school even without a law book of my own. I only borrowed the law books of the court where I worked. It was really God's plan in putting me in the court so I could borrow the law books. When it was time to go to Manila to review for the bar and take it after 6 months, I had another problem. I could not bring to Manila the law books of the court. So God solved this problem for me by sending me the man of my life, my husband, who was also in law school. He sent me his books and bought by other